Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
All right, everyone, this is Tim and Dom with NFL Talk from across the pond and back. Dom is coming to us live in the late evening. Stripper pole has been put away. The dollars have now been neatly folded and put in his billfold for the next go around. Because you know what? We need a stripper pole because this week is slate of games, Dom. Uck. And I'm using uck in the nicest way possible. How you doing, Dom?
Yeah, it's time to end the show, isn't it? We're done covering the games in the week, aren't we?
I was looking through the game. I was looking through the schedules here, and I'm like looking at some of these games like 25-3, 54-13, 27-3, 24-10, 41-17, 28-19, 33-22, 31-5, 38-3.
I assume we're playing bingo.
I must be, and the last score is 30-18. I mean, those that do not know, we're broadcasting live on the online Big Blue Network. This is a preview of NFL Talk from across the pond and back. I am Tim, a.k.a. Cool Hand Luke, and we have Dom, the Duke of Funk. There's no a.k.a. You are just the Duke of Funk. There's not an also known as, because that's how funky you are.
Well, there you go. This is news to my wife, by the way. She's tucked up in bed though, so we're all right.
I think it would be more news to her.
That's why I cracked out the stripper pole.
I was going to say, I think it'd be more news to her that you had a stripper pole. I think that would be.
I know. Definitely not the coving that fell down in the middle of the night the other week.
Oh no, Tom, no. You can't say those things. You got to be honest. We all know how you roll. Oh my God!
You're right. I wasn't honest actually. It was the middle of the day. It fell down.
Oh, see, I knew you were lying. All right, let's get into these. I guess we're going to call them games. And you know which one?
One of them was close.
27-3 or the 41-17?
No.
Or the 31-5? Or the 31-5?
It was a 30-28 somewhere. There you go. Dolphins 28.
33-22. 30. Oh yeah, 30-28. That actually was a good game. The Dolphins game. And Kyle Pitts,
unless you're a Dolphins fan.
Well, that's true. But Kyle Pitts had the second most receiving yards of any rookie tight end at 163 yards. But I want to get into the Giants game. You know why I want to get into the Giants game, Dom. You know why. I'm assuming you know why.
Because a couple of weeks ago I said let's not start with the Giants game, and you started with it just to spite me.
Yeah, of course. That was the reason. I want to go into the Giant game because I have a YouTube channel and I do Giant content, and I called this the false hope game. That Giant fans were going to get all pumped up that we beat a bad Carolina Panther team who has lost 4 in a row now. And before this loss, had given up on average 30 points a game, their defense. And one of those teams was the Philadelphia Eagles. So this is not a good team. Christian McCaffrey is out. So you lost your star running back. You're relying on Sam Darnold. The Giants, at halftime, this game is 5-3. The Giants get a garbage touchdown.
It was a belter. Yeah, what are you talking about?
It was, man. It was. You know what? It was the 2-run homer in the 6th that really propelled this score. The Giants, at one point, the Giants went up 18-3 later in the fourth quarter. And then the Panthers went for it from 4th and 16 deep in their own territory, and the Giants get a garbage touchdown. And I see Giant fans all over Twitter going, "This is a blowout. We blew them out. This is the turning point for the New York Giants. They're going to move forward." Daniel Jones throws 33 times, completes 20, barely has 200 yards and 1 touchdown, averaging a little over 6 yards a completion. Dom,
which last time I checked was below league average.
Yeah, league average is 7.5. Dom, how do Giant fans, and I'm wearing a Giant hat, but how do Giant fans justify thinking that this is going to be the game that propels them? I watched this game. This game was a stinker. This game was no fun to watch. And then we go Kansas City, which Mahomes looks like he's fine. Los Angeles, not Los Angeles. What the hell is it?
Back to the future.
Las Vegas. Oh, Las Vegas, paper. And then we go into the meat grinder in Tampa. We could easily be 2-8 after this game. But for some reason, if you go onto the Twitter sphere, and That's why LT put it so succinctly.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Because they got to be smoking something, man. After watching this game and thinking, I don't know what the hell they think. You tell me what you are further away from this than anyone possibly could be, except if you're in Nome, Alaska, or maybe in Antarctica. Explain this to me. Explain the logic, being a football fan and a Giant fan, how you build false hope of this game and think that you are literally going to go to the playoffs.
I thought we're not going to the playoffs. Let's be honest. We're going to the Super Bowl. We don't need to bother with the playoffs. Just put in the Super Bowl now, surely. No, you need. Where's that button that you have? The sarcasm one. We need that.
Oh, you want the sarcasm? Wait. Hold on.
Let's go again.
Okay, we're gonna. All right, you know what, guys? This is what we do. This is we don't do any of this. We just do this live and just put it up. All right, you ready, Dom?
No, ready.
Right,
we don't even need to worry about the playoffs. We're going straight to the Super Bowl.
Oh no! Wait, shut up a sec. Shut up. I got to do the build up real quick. So, Dom, as a Giant fan, how can you justify this team going 2-5 going to the playoffs?
Right, we need to get serious.
Warning, sarcasm.
We're going to the Super Bowl. No questions. Super Bowl. Here we come.
Okay, there you go. There was the sarcasm. There was the sarcasm alert. But explain it to me, Dom. Just explain it to me.
I just did. We're going to the Super Bowl. We've got tickets. We can go and watch it in LA. I mean, I can't.
I love it. It's
like,
okay.
We're 2-5.
We're 2-5, and we're going to the Super Bowl. Come on.
We're going to. It's a different. If you're 2-5, right? You lost your first 5 games, and everyone's injured. You win your next 2 because everyone's coming back, and you might go, look, we can go on a run. Like, if you're the Bills and you're 2-5, and you had Allen out and all sorts out. And you might be able to make the case, but I can't make.
And I love it though, because then you got a pissed off Kansas City team at home, and Mahomes, even though he's playing bad, still has his team at 3-4, and still is playing at a high level. You got the Raiders in MetLife, but the Raiders are a good team. No, the whole Gruden thing aside, the Raiders are a good team, and then you run into the meat grinder in the Tampa, and then you got Philly after that. And Philly has not played poorly.
No, I mean, Philadelphia are probably where I thought they'd be. Maybe one win more, but they played. They're in games, and I didn't expect them to be running teams as close as they are. To be fair, but I mean, look, the Giants have won a game. That's great news.
2 games,
exactly. 2. Well, no, yeah, but we won one a few weeks ago.
That's what I'm saying. We won 2 games.
Yeah, but I mean, we won another game this week. I mean, we were all a bit down last week, right? We expected to lose. We did lose. We got blown out by the Rams. I mean, it was a manner of the performance that was disappointing last week. There was a rebound this week. But it wasn't a great performance. We got the win against a team that's not playing great, to be honest.
To be nice.
And I swear to God, they're doing it on purpose, because I was like, 3-0, they're not a 3-0 team. They shouldn't be winning. It's 3-0. But they can still make the playoffs, and then they go and lose 4 in a row. So thanks for that. It's good to have the win, bit of confidence. We've got some injuries and you should still win the game. That's all good news, but we beat a side that I still think is not terrible, but it's not brilliant. With a quarterback that thought it was Halloween had come a week early for him, clearly this week. That's comedy gold, but don't worry, we'll carry on.
Please do, because I think we're still waiting for the laugh.
Again, tumbleweed. We're fine. But yeah, I mean, we are where we are. It's still the end of the road for this team. It's going to need to be torn up. It doesn't change anything from last week. This is a team that everyone in Giants world is saying has to go to the playoffs. It's got the talent to go to the playoffs, and if it doesn't, it's a failure. Well, we're not going to the playoffs, and this doesn't really change anything.
I 100% agree with that. I mean,
what it was nice to see is the defense play a bit this week. It decided it wanted to turn up after 7 weeks. It realised the season had started.
Oh my God! Oh, there's a message for
there is.
Oh my God! No, Dom. I don't know. As a Giant fan, I almost want to turn in my Giant card. To be honest.
Wow. Neither of us are doing that. Let's be honest. We you have to support your team through thick and thin. But,
no, you don't. Not when the fans are stupid. No, you don't. I'm sorry.
I suspect all fans are a little bit stupid when it comes to their team.
No, I mean, and the Giants were actually voted the most negative fans a couple weeks back. I forget what it was off of, but and I can literally see it. But let's jump into something good. Let's jump into something that I think you should know where I'm going, because I got a feeling this team is 7-0, and the only undefeated team left in the NFL. They smoked Texas, Houston, whatever it was, 31-5. How about them Cardinals? Are you on the Cardinal train yet? Do you?
Undoubtedly, you have to say they're 7-0. They're playing very well. I said going in that to the season that they're a good team, but I didn't expect them to be this good. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs. I didn't think they would. They're coming out of such a tough division. We all said Seattle would be bad. 49ers, I said, would be good if they stayed injury-free.
What tough division? They're running away with the division.
But they are, well, they're comfortably ahead of 49ers and Seattle. They're not miles ahead. They're one win ahead of the Rams, but you have to give them credit. I still want to see, I say it every week, but I still want to see what happens if they lose a game, how they respond. Because I think if they respond positively, then you have to really, really take them seriously. But they have talent. They're adding to it. And the other question mark on their offense was, could they run the ball? Well, this week they could run the ball, but they did beat the Texans.
Did you see the touchdown pass to Zach Ertz?
No, I did. I haven't seen it. It's been a busy day, so I've not caught the highlights as much as I would have liked. But
Zach Ertz adds another dimension to this offense, which already has Chase Edmonds, James Conner, AJ Green, DeAndre Hopkins. You got Kirk. You got what's his name? Moore, the rookie wide receiver.
Yeah, whichever one of the two more it is.
Yeah, I mean this team is loaded from top to bottom, especially offensively. I mean, I think even if they had a bad defense, which they don't, I think they could put up 45 points every game if they had to. You haven't even mentioned Kyler Murray. No, and I'm not going to, because he's freaking awesome. Every midget out there, little person, should look at Kyler Murray and say, I can do that. My wife said it best the first time she saw Kyler Murray play. We were watching TV and she goes, why is that little kid playing? Then she goes, his helmet's too big for his head. And then she watched him play and goes, oh, that's why he's playing. Because he's that good.
Did you think he won a competition to play in an NFL game?
I don't know. My wife is flashing me. But Just joking. She's upstairs working.
You said you need to borrow the pole.
No, I don't need to borrow the stripper pole. We have two of them here.
Oh, there you go. And an interrogation lounge.
We have two stripper poles and a center stage.
Yeah, plus an interrogation lounge and a roof with holes in it, even though it was a green screen.
Even though it was a green screen. I love people with that. But I'm telling you right now, I think statistically,
how far do you think they can go? Because you said they do well this season. How far do they go?
I think they're going to the Super Bowl. They were one of, I don't know about winning it, but they were one of my picks to go to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're 7-0. The odds of them making the playoffs at 7-0, they did it statistically, something like 93%. That 93% of they went to, not to the Super Bowl, to the playoffs. Forgive me.
Yeah, I was going to say, that seemed an odd one. I was like, that seems a bit high, but I was like, I'll trust you on this. But yeah, playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, the playoffs. 93% of the teams that go 7-0 have started out 7-0. 93% of the teams have made the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it would take a miracle now to stop them going to the playoffs at 7-0.
It would have to.
And they've got two good. I'm taking the mick this week because they beat the Texans, but not last week. But the two previous games.
Hey, listen,
they've won two in-division games, and one was against the Rams.
If the Giants fans can get all pumped up for beating the Carolina Panthers, I can get pumped up beating the Texans.
Well, like I say, they beat the Rams in LA. That's a good away win, and they got another in-division win. I think it was the 49ers.
Yeah. No, you're right. It was.
They're the wins that you really sort of sit up and go, you know what? They've beaten two good teams. Okay, the 49ers have injuries, but most teams get injuries, right? You can't,
right. You can't go by that. Everyone has injury. I want to talk about another game, of course, because we got a lot of games to go through, and they all stink. They all suck. It's the There's really not any good games to go through this week. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 38, Chicago Bears 3. Oh, yikes. This was another bad game. Poor Justin Fields, man. He looks lost in the sauce. 22 of 32, 184, 3 interceptions. They did have Herbert run for 100 yards. The Bears did, but this was all Tampa. Tom Brady, 600 touchdowns, not in one game. He could have had them, but he got his 600th touchdown career-wise. Tampa at 6-1 to me is rolling. I think the only team that's going to be able to stop them is going to be the team in the desert swarm. Is going to be the Cardinals, but I mean, Blaine Gabbert even got to play.
Yeah, they got to rest. They got to rest Tom.
They had to rest Tom, and they had to bring in Blaine Gabbert. I mean, Blaine Gabbert. I was watching this game at one point. Does everyone get to play? Is this like Little League? Does everyone get to play? Does everyone got to at least play 3 innings? So I got to bring in Blaine Gabbert because I was going to run down to Tampa and see if I couldn't get in the game.
Well, he's for your former team, of course, but I mean, they didn't even play in the second half, did they? I mean, they put up, all those points pretty much in the first half. I mean,
they scored 3 points in the second half.
Yeah. And what was the final score in?
36-3.
I mean, it wasn't the best game, was it, from the Bears' point of view? Didn't move it on offense. 4 turnovers.
It was pretty bad.
For Fields. 3 interceptions, but 4 turnovers.
I forgot about the fumble. Yes.
Yeah, he looked lost. I mean, the line didn't do him many favors, but, he's an athletic quarterback who couldn't get out of the pocket. He couldn't get away at all. Couldn't put anything up. I mean, obviously he scored 3 points. Of course, he didn't put anything up. Defense couldn't handle the Bucs in that first half. It wasn't a good day for Chicago. It was a good day for New York because, of course, we had their first round pick. So if they can do that every week, that would be great. Thanks. But I mean, we didn't learn anything from this game, right? The Bucs were good. We knew the Bucs were good. The question for you is who can stop them going to the Super Bowl out of the NFC? Who stops them?
I tell you, Arizona.
No, out of the NFC, who stops them? Arizona in the NFC. No.
Hi, my name is Dom.
Forget that. Yeah. I would say it's late, which it is, but that's not an excuse. I was being thick.
My name is Dom. I watch football.
Yeah. For a second now, I don't know why I thought Arizona were in the AFC, but of course they're not. They are in a really strong position. I'm just going to try and go less red now.
Luckily, we're streaming live today. Don't worry, nobody's watching.
I know. Well, we wouldn't cut it anyway. We as you can see, we do a lot of prep for the show because we don't know who the NFC is and who the AFC is.
We don't cut anything now because you don't want to know why when we do shows.
2 in the box, ready to go. We be fast and they be slow.
Evidently, that was the wrong button.
Well, it's all right because actually that's they be slow summed up my brain.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's go back and do this. We don't cut anything now because you want to know why?
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you. What? You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy pants on.
We got big boy pants on. That's why we do this. Oh my goodness. But Tampa blew them out. Let's go to the next game. Yeah. Let's go to the only close game in the entire series. Atlanta jumping to 3-3 with a 30-28 win over the 1-6 Miami Dolphins. Tua started rough. Finished the game with 32 of 40, 291, 4 touchdowns. Tried to make a game out of it with 14 fourth quarter points, but then poor Atlanta. Atlanta just put up another 10 points just to keep the game out of reach. I mean, how surprised are you by this Falcons team?
Oh, I thought you were going to say by the Dolphins. I mean, yeah, they're 500, 3-3 after 6. I mean, the offense they had, a coach known for his offensive game planning. So, there's weapons around Matt Ryan, and Ryan's not past it. So from that point of view, not necessarily surprised that they are capable of putting up some points. But the line isn't. It's not horrific, but it's not brilliant, is it? I mean,
no, it's not at all.
It's probably below average. I would imagine in the rankings. I don't have them to hand. But it's the defense I didn't think was going to win them that many games. I didn't expect them to be 500. I thought they'd win 5 games all year, but they've got 11 games to go and they only need to win 2 to get to that. So I mean they're not going playoffs, or they might, but I doubt it. you never know in football. But
you never know. 3-3, they're putting themselves in a good position.
You've got to be surprised, and they've got a real safety blanket for Matt Ryan. Not that he needs him; he's a good enough quarterback, to make those tight throws. But Kyle Pitts is starting to rumble. He's that safety net for him. And he put up a lot. You said at the start, rookie record. Did you say it was?
Yeah. 160 something yards.
Yeah, so that's to get out for them if they need them. So they're not a team you'd want to play, but they're a team that if you're a contender, you think you'd be rolling them still.
You know what's crazy about Kyle Pitts? 7 catches for 163.
I know 7. Yeah.
How many targets? How many targets do you think he had?
Was it 8 or 9? He didn't have
8.
many.
He had 8 targets. Is he coming along, or is it just how bad Miami is?
I mean, Miami. I wasn't high on them coming in, but I wasn't this low on them. I mean, who the hell thought they'd be in 1-6 through 7?
I don't think anybody did.
And they've not even been massively. They've hemorrhaged injuries. Like everyone else, they picked them up. It's not like their whole team's been out for all the games. I mean, you've got to fear for Brian Flores down there now, haven't you? I mean,
well, I would think you have to. You know what's funny though? Jalen Waddle actually has 44 receptions already for the Miami Dolphins. How many yards do you think he has?
I don't know, 250?
A little over 300. He's averaging like 8.6 yards of reception. That means they're not going deep too much. No.
I mean, I knew from the way you asked the question, it had to be low. I mean, when but you look at the quarterbacks, Brissett and Tua are not necessarily known for the sort of deep throws, the sort of more game managers, which but that even then it's low. But I mean, you've got to give Tua credit. I think he's a man that's under pressure coming in. He's got the 2 bad interceptions. He still threw 4 touchdowns, and the man's playing for his job down there.
Oh yeah, he's got Deshaun Watson looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, quite. I still don't think that will happen by the trade deadline, but you never know.
I don't see it happening.
I mean, why would you take the risk if you were either side here? Because you trade Watson now, and you want some insurance on those picks if you're trading him. And if you're the Texans, you want to see you're going to take the risk that you know what your picks are worth. And get the value if and when his issues go away. So, but yeah, he's playing for his job, and four touchdowns is not to be sniffed at. And I think he's not going to be an interception machine, I don't think, because of the way he plays. But I don't think his career's down there. I think he's going to have to move on for a new team next year.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to start winning. You can throw all the touchdowns you like if you're not winning games. Then people will look at you not as favorably as maybe they should.
Yeah, I agree 100%. All right, let's get into some of the really good games. This one's for the king of the idiots. 54-13. The Pats destroy the Jets. And I mean destroy. I mean destroy. I mean, this game wasn't even close. I don't think this game was close at the coin toss. I think the Jets were automatically down 21. And I love it because people were like, well, Zach Wilson got hurt. I think they were already up by 20-something when Zach Wilson got hurt.
Well, Zach Wilson, in fairness, has been playing so well this year that if he'd played the whole game, they'd have definitely won. They probably would have won. They probably would have lost this game 54-20 if Zach Wilson played. So, I mean, what is there to talk about, really? I mean, because it's not. I mean, it's the Pats, the 3-4 beating up on a bad team. It's kind of like the Giant game. They just beat up on a bad team. They beat up on a really bad team. I mean, Mac Jones against a really poor defense went 24-36 for 307 with 2 touchdowns. Brian Hoyer was 3 for 4 for 79. I mean, I think I could have gone 10 for 15 for 120. I mean, that's how bad the Jet defense is. I mean, is this indicative of the Pats running through something? Is this the start of something, or is it just that they're just playing the Jets? I mean, they haven't lost against the Jets since 10:53. They haven't lost in well over a century, I don't think.
Right, something like that, something crazy like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's 12 in a row they've won against the Jets.
Oh my God, I just thought of something. we need to have Chris on. Do you remember? Do you remember what we talked about last week?
We talked about having him on, and he messaged me to say he'd come on a week where they won and we lost. So he said he'd be on this week. But
no, you and I said that we would have him on the one time that the Giants won and the Pats won at the same time.
Did we say that?
Yes, we did say that. We did say that.
He said he'd come on if we lost. And they
no,
won.
we actually said we said last week that because I jokingly said, okay, we'll see him in September of next year.
But yeah, I remember now. I do remember now. I was so tired last week, but I do actually remember that. Do remember you saying that it would be September of next year because of us not winning a game until the ice, the equator freezes over or something. But yeah, I mean they beat a bad team. The Jets suck. And by the way, the Jets, last time, just flipping back to the Bucs quickly, but last time Tom Brady lost against a rookie quarterback. That quarterback was playing for the Jets, by the way.
And who was that?
Have a go. Go on, have a go. You love
the last time the Jets lost. I mean,
he's still in the league. He's still playing, and you love this quarterback.
Sam Darnold.
Nope.
Sam Darnold is not. Let me think. Jet quarterbacks. Is he starting, or is he just in the league?
Well, he started. He started last week,
and he's in the league still. And he was a Jet
in the league. Yeah,
he was a Jet quarter. Was he a Jet draft choice?
He was a Jet draft choice.
He was a Jet draft choice. It's not Sam Darnold, and he beat Tom Brady as a rookie.
Yep. So, and Tom Brady's 10-0 in his last 10 starts against a rookie.
Ooh. Actually, I do remember this, but I have. Let me think.
I can give you another clue. I can give you the year if it's helpful.
Give me a year.
2014.
That wasn't helpful. It wasn't helpful at all.
Especially as I think he was drafted the year before.
But then he wouldn't be a rookie quarterback. He was drafted in 2013.
So he wouldn't have been drafted the year before, so he must have been drafted that year, yeah.
Yeah, so now you really just screwed it all up for me.
Yeah.
High draft choice or low draft choice?
I don't know where he was drafted. I mean, with the Jets, it doesn't really matter, does it?
He must have been an injury replacement. It can't be Mark Sanchez. It can't. Is it butt fumble? Is it Mark Sanchez?
Yeah.
I'm not a Jet fan, so I have no idea.
He started for Seattle last week.
Geno Smith, second round pick with the Jets.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I didn't know that until I saw it earlier. I mean, I wouldn't have got that either.
I did not know that at all. I had no clue about that. So is it? So I forgot the question. So is this an aberration for the Pats, or this is the start of a roll?
I mean, I've been saying all year I thought they'd be somewhere around the 10-win mark. I think that's still perfectly doable for them with the number of games left. I think the worry on that is that they've beaten the Jets twice for 2 of their wins and they don't play them again. So, but, the reason, I've still sort of been fairly okay with where they are is Bill Belichick historically starts the season slow and gets better. And they've been in games by and large. They've not been getting smashed. So I think they might not make the playoffs, but I'm still going to stick with the fact that they will get a wild card into the playoffs and be somewhere around 10 wins. The bit I did think was that Miami would be pushing them all the way. That doesn't look like it at the moment, but we'll see.
It doesn't look like that.
But you can't just say, yeah, they won the Jets game, so therefore they're going to the playoffs. That's like the Giants saying we beat Carolina, we're going to the playoffs.
Well, they're already saying that.
Well, yeah, but it's ridiculous. But I mean, because they beat a bad team. But I'm just looking at the history of Bill Belichick's side. They do tend to start slow and move on, and then they are in games by and large every week. So that kind of gives you some confidence that they've still got the opportunity still to, even though they're only 1 win better than the Giants.
I want to talk about a game I think is kind of a shocker for some. It was a blowout. It was 41.
What game wasn't this week?
That's true. We already did the one that wasn't. It was Cincinnati 41-17 over Baltimore. This game was 13-10 Cincinnati going into halftime. 28 unanswered points for the Bengals. Joe Burrows, 23 of 38, 416 and 3 touchdowns. I mean, this game, and this is a guy that doesn't have an offensive line. Jamar Chase.
I was going to say, imagine if he had a left tackle.
Jamar Chase, 8 receptions out of 10 targets for 201 yards and a touchdown. He right now is on pace to break every rookie receiving record. What the hell is going on with the Bengals?
Did anybody think 5-2 Bengals?
No clue. No, I had no. I thought maybe they won 7 games.
Yeah. If they had a really good season, I thought they might get a 9, but that would be almost literally everything going right for them. And they're 5-2, 500 yards on offense, 80% of them through the air as well.
Exactly.
I mean, with no line, which explains why it's going through the air as opposed to trying to. I don't imagine there are too many holes to run through. But
well, Joe Mixon had 59 yards, 4.9 yards carry. You had the other kid, I can't think of his name, had another 52 yards, like 4.7 yards a carry. So they ran, but why would you run when you could pass the ball for 400 yards?
I mean, Jason Burrow, it's like a laser, isn't it? I mean, it's everything he touches. I mean, credit to them. You can't fault them at 5-2 when nobody in the right mind thought they would be that. It's just incredible, and let's not forget they went to Baltimore and won against a Baltimore side. I think they're 5 in a row.
They went to Baltimore. And you know what's really sickening with Jamar Chase? And this is a kid we've talked about this. He was dropping everything in training camp. They were worried. 35 receptions, 754 yards. He's averaging 21.5 a catch and 6 touchdowns. And he's also got 20. And on top of that, out of those 35 receptions, how many of those do you think went for first downs?
Oh, I don't know.
25.
Jesus.
25. He's got 6 catches for 40 plus yards or more. 13 of 20 plus and more. Can someone cover this guy, please? Can someone what's his number? Number 1? Can someone look at number 1 and say, hey, maybe we should double team him? Maybe we should get some safety help.
Do you think he might be a wide receiver 1 franchise? Wide receiver 1 for them. I mean, they're just incredible numbers, right?
You know what? They were all bitching that they didn't take the tackle out of Oregon.
Well, I thought they should, to be fair.
You did, and you were wrong as usual.
Yeah, no, I'm going well this season. I got, but it made sense to take the tackle. You had a quarterback that got killed last year. I mean, almost literally killed, had his leg torn off.
Right.
It made sense to take the tackle and protect him this year, but he's got back with his old college wide receiver and they're tearing it up.
They are. Hold on.
And the Ravens are not a bad side. Not by a long shot.
No, not by a long shot whatsoever. Sorry, I'm texting. I'm being unprofessional.
It's all right.
I'm being unprofessional again.
It's all right. Everyone else is switched off when I talk, so I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm sorry. Were you saying something?
I was talking about the stripper pole. But I mean, last week, do you remember who did the Ravens play last week? And what did they do against them defensively?
Oh, they shut them down.
They shut down the Chargers.
Yeah.
And the last time I checked, the Chargers had a pretty decent offense.
Yeah, it was not hard.
The Bengals went and destroyed them. I mean, destroyed them. Kudos to them. You can't say anything more.
Thumbs up to the Bengals. Thumbs up to we can never call them the Bungles because Giant fans sit there and bitch about their offensive line. The Bengals' offensive line is worse. They got their quarterback wrecked. And it's the same line from last year. It's the same starting 5. It's not like they all of a sudden learned how to play. Or maybe they did.
Maybe they did.
Maybe they did. Let's get into the Titans and the Chiefs. This was kind of a surprise game to me. The Chiefs lost, only put up a 3 points. They lost 27-3. I mean, it was a game that you kind of knew how they were going to attack the Chiefs, the Titans, that is. They were going to take Derrick Henry and just run him down his throats. But the only thing with Derrick Henry was he only had 29 carries. He had 29 carries for only 86 yards.
He didn't go 100 yards.
Did not go 100 yards with all those carries. I mean, but, they harassed Patrick Mahomes. He got hit. He cleared concussion protocol on the field, but he didn't come back into the game. Kansas City's 3-4. Their defense is suspect at best. The offense can still sling it, especially with Tyreek Hill and what's his name, Travis, the tight end. I mean, I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be what they were 3 years ago. But I think the Chiefs will be okay. I think Tennessee is just a good team.
They've been better than I thought they would be. I mean, I thought in coming out of that division, it was going to be who stayed the healthiest and who was the least worst. But, you know, their offensive, they got Tannehill, who's not a terrible quarterback. They got Henry, who didn't even have to, not that he had a terrible game, but didn't exactly have to excel himself. Whereas last week he won the game for them. This week he didn't have to.
Right.
But that secondary got burned again for Kansas and you know, Tannehill was it. But even then he only got one touchdown. Did he get? Am I misreading that? I've just quickly checked.
You're not you're not misreading it, but you are misreading one thing. It's Kansas.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs.
It's Kansas City. It's not Kansas. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Or is that my Oliver Twist, Dorothy?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's late.
Shut up.
Please, sir, may I have some more? In Kansas.
Oh dear me! It's like one of the coaches.
You put yourself up for this punishment. No one else did.
I know. Do you know what? One of the coaches for our European football, because I refuse to call it soccer, who coaches with me on a Saturday morning. He wears red boots, and we're still taking the mick out of him. We call him Dorothy every week. Hasn't caught. He was like, really? I was like, you chose to wear red boots. What did you think was going to happen?
Exactly. If you were now, wait a minute. If he wore red boots and a yellow raincoat, then what would he have been?
A fireman?
Curious George, man.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know Curious George, the monkey, the kids show.
I live in a different country from you.
Curious George is internationally
we have
known
in broom cupboards.
All right, I'll change it for you. Then it's more like Fireman Sam. Don't tell me you don't know Fireman Sam.
I know who he is. He's from Pontypandy.
Pontypandy, the great. Have you ever seen The Great Fire of Pontypandy? Very good show.
There's a fire in Pontypandy every week. I tell you.
No. This was the
Norman
Great
Price
Fire.
Was an Asbo.
I love Norman's mom because, like in the older claymation ones, she's trapped in the building and she's going, "Help me!
That annoying voice.
Yeah, I love it. She goes, "I'm suffering from the smoke inhalation." I was like, "Oh," and it's all Norman Price should be in a juvenile detention center.
Yeah. He needs an Asbo. 100% needs detaining, under some kind of civil unrest thing. And also, that is, by the way, we probably. I mean, this shows how good the games are this week that we're talking about Fireman Sam. But I mean, seriously, that fire service is seriously rolling in dough. It has helicopters. It has.
Oh, it's got everything.
You name.
Station officer Steele's got to be making a bank, and he's.
I mean, yeah, and he also probably should have retired 50 years ago. I mean, he must be 206 now.
Oh, of course.
But he can still move quicker than that Kansas City secondary.
But the question is, do they have a stripper pole for Penny?
Well, they've got a big pole. It's a fire.
That's what I was. That's what I was talking about. Now the bigger question is, do you have Rory the racing car?
No, don't have that neither.
Oh, that's German. All right, let's get back.
We probably should move on.
Let's move back on to the football. Let's see what we got here in the football. I don't want to talk about the Packers because that was 24-10. That's not even worth talking about.
My mate Luke's going to be fuming. He was like, you just move on from the Packers. The reason we don't really cover the Packers is because they're not playing brilliantly, but they still just do what they do and they just win.
And they just win.
I'm doing it.
Rams
was shocked this week.
Well, we're going to the Rams beat up on the Lions. That's not even a game to talk about. Raiders beat up on the Eagles. That's not a game to talk about.
Carl was good again.
You know what? Let's talk about
Carl was good again for the Raiders, though.
Yeah, he was. But let's talk about the Green Bay Packers and the Washington football team. You're right. Packers just do what they do at 6-1. Washington's now 2-5. Looks like it's Dallas' division to lose. Tyler Heineke, not too bad, 25-37 for 268, one touchdown, one interception. He also ran for 95 yards. I mean, but you're right. The Packers just do what the Packers do.
Yeah, I mean, Washington needs a new number one. Obviously, you lose Fitzpatrick, who's been tragic because he's not been on the field this year. But, they need a long-term number one. I don't think Taylor Heineke is it. People talk about his decision making. I didn't see the game, but people say it was a bit suspect. But you expect that from an inexperienced quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's not a surprise. And he by all accounts, he was fun to watch. But yeah, the Packers roll on. The question is, I mean, they've just had Adams on the IR, so it'd be interesting to see how that goes. But he didn't go 100 yards again this week, so it's not like everything's been running through him. So they should be fine. But the other thing we should point out, though, they have had serious injuries on that O-line. I think at one point they had their third choice left tackle out on the field protecting Rodgers, and they were still winning games. That is impressive. So the question is Rodgers? Is this a I don't like it here, and I'm gonna stick it to you, and audition for a new team, or is he just showing? Do you want to get behind me and let's give it to this Jordan kid, and we can move with me till I retire? What do you think is going through his mind? Apart from the fact he doesn't like Green Bay.
I still think Rodgers is out.
I think so too. This is chip on shoulder auditioning, right?
Yeah. I think he's gone. I think he's out. I don't think there's any. There's any way he stays. He's kind of created a Brett Favre atmosphere. If everyone remembers the fiasco between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and I love it because Aaron Rodgers talked about at times how he doesn't want to create that atmosphere like it was there with Brett Favre. And honestly, some ways it's worse.
Yeah. Because he's a miserable. He can be sulky, to say the least, and that can be difficult. I mean, probably all right if you're winning, but if you start losing, are you going to play for a brick wall for Aaron Rodgers?
Thanks, mate. Hold on 1 second. I have I'm gonna have to put this on mute a second. Dom, vamp for a second. Talk about the Colts. Hold on, I got to do something real quick. All right, Dom, you're on.
Oh, damn it. I kind of want to hear what the conversation is going on. But anyway, yeah, the Colts. I mean, we said before the season started on the Colts that it's them or the Titans in their division. It was probably going to be a question of who was least worse and who wasn't injured. Carson Wentz stayed healthy. It was in this game, which was in tricky conditions. They got a nice win. They had to run the ball. They're still in contention for that division there. But they're going to have to chase down the Titans, who have just won 2 tricky games in a row, and they'd probably been hoping for someone to lose in that game. But Wentz, 17 for 26, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. The defense stepped up again. That's kind of where the Colts build their team, is through defense. And they beat the 49ers, who, injured or not, quarterback issues or not, are still not a terrible side, and they get the win. And I'm not quite sure where they are now. I think it's 3 wins for them now. But they are still going for it, and still in with a shout. And I'm hoping Tim's now back.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
See, I heard stuff.
There you go.
I heard stuff.
Well done, multitasking. Who knew?
I was busy.
But there you go. That was a Colt. Defense stepped up, still within a shout, but they're going to have to catch the Titans, who just won two tough ones in a row.
Yep, I don't disagree. I agree with that 100%. And you know what that means?
Draft, baby. Yeah.
Because all the other games are just too terrible to talk about. And plus, we had bye weeks for the Steelers, the Bills, the Chargers, and the Jaguars. Oh, not to mention the Vikings and the Cowboys as well. Oh, Dom, what do you got for us today to close this hour out? What's the Dom thoughts of the day?
I haven't got one. Didn't bother.
Okay, and next week's co-host will be Chris.
We'll have Chris on next week. No, I mean, by the time we record the next show, we will be bang on the trade deadline, and we might even push
November 2nd is the trade deadline.
Yeah. I imagine we'll probably push the show back a day to.
I think so. I think we will push it back one day. Yes. So. Yeah. So that would be. So it would actually probably push it back 2 days, because it would probably be Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh no, because it's 4:00 here.
4:00. So
okay. Yeah, we'll still record it. Yeah.
Yeah, we should be fine. But I just had. I'm not going to ask you for who you think is going to be traded, but which teams do you think are entering need to enter the trade market? And I mean acquiring as opposed to selling, because it's obvious who needs to get rid of players. It's a side with no hope. And kind of what positions they might be after.
I think Dallas, even though Haswell Diggs has been playing, I think you need to get someone in the secondary. You need to get another corner option, in my mind. Just to shore that up, because you're leading the division. it's time. You know, you got to shore up your defense, your pass defense.
I think that's a good shout. I mean, there's no hope of them. I mean, there's no chance of them not taking the division. It's now about playoff seedings. You know,
and that's exactly what it is. I mean, if you're the Browns, you know that whole thing with going on
quarterback.
Right. Yeah, in some ways you need something because of the fact that he's got that torn labrum in his non-shoulder throwing shoulder, and he's also got a crack in that shoulder. So you don't know if Baker's going to be back. I mean, they did a number on the Broncos, but I think you need some type of option for quarterback.
Case Keenum's not taking you to.
I don't see
a roster capable of going to the Super Bowl in case Keenum doesn't take you there?
Yeah, I mean, if those, I mean, Buffalo's pretty stacked. But I think, off the top of my head, those would be the two things that I can think. I can tell you right now, teams that should be sellers. I think the Giants have some expiring contracts they should try to get some value for. I think that anyone right now on the Lions should be up for grabs.
Is there anyone on the Lions?
No. And anyone on the Texans, should be up for grabs as well outside of Deshaun Watson. I was
just thinking the obvious ones are Texans, Jags, and but there isn't a lot there. I mean,
there's not there to take.
Bit, but there's nothing there that you'd want.
No. I mean, that would probably be my thought process.
You know, Eagles just got rid of their I've forgotten his name now.
Zach Ertz,
who went to the green grass of Arizona.
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
All I could think of was Jalen Hurts. I was like, no, it's not. It's the other one that sounds like Hurts, and I just couldn't. I just late, but yeah. You know. By the way, I loved his quote. By the way, that when he was for Arizona, I meant to mention it, which never seen so much green grass in the middle of a field.
Oh my god.
That's because you've got a quarterback, mate.
Yeah, shocking.
It's amazing what can happen. Yeah, I mean, I think there's teams that have got a corner that's available. I think there are a lot of teams looking for a corner. I hadn't considered Cowboys, but I think you're right because Diggs is. This is not a criticism.
No, no.
How can you criticize someone with 7 interceptions? But that's clearly over where you.
That's over his. That's over his performance value.
That.
No, it's not
over almost every corner's like something like 12 interceptions in a season is like NFL record, and he's already at 7.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's playing over his value.
It's not sustainable for anyone, but you'd probably be saying possibly the Green Bay might want a second corner there.
They got Isaac Yiadom.
What more could they ask for?
What else do they need?
Chiefs, do they need something else in the secondary?
It's
make the argument there.
I don't know where Kansas City's headed, so I think I don't know where Kansas is going. I think they have a tough division to play in college. Kansas City. I don't know, man. I think they're probably going to stand pat.
I mean, you say it's a complicated defense there as well, which probably
that's the problem. When you have Spagnuolo's defense is extremely complicated, so bringing in someone this late is probably not going to help you any, unless he simplifies his defense and goes more man to man.
Which maybe he'll have to do. I mean, what's happened with the secondary there isn't working at the moment. But
they have DeAndre Baker. What else do they need?
I'm not going to say what entered my head then. And the only other thing I thought was, do the Ravens potentially look to try and bring in another running back? Obviously, they were decimated with the injuries. They're doing all right at the moment, but it's an aging running back set they have at the moment. Do they look to bring in a younger pair of legs?
I don't think so.
There?
I honestly don't think so. I think they, if anything, you still have Todd Gurley out there. So I don't think they're going to waste it because I think they can believe in Lamar Jackson is going to be their running back. Yeah.
Lamar can run. And also, to be fair, I mean, Jackson there, I was looking early, 65% completion rate, and this week's was horrible, so that would have dropped it. I imagine that's dropped it 2-3% week on, just on how bad it was this week for him.
Right.
But they are making more use of the throwing game this year.
They are.
And that will make them less predictable. And I think that will help them out there. But it was the only other thing I thought there was if there's a top running back going, maybe they look to trade for one there just to help them out. But yeah, I mean, trade deadline's going to be exciting.
It's going to be interesting.
Do you think the Rams try and do anything? I mean, they I mean, they could give up their 2035 first-round pick because I think that's the next first-round pick that they've got.
No, I think the way they're at right now, I think they just stand pat as well.
Yeah, I'm joking. I just wanted to take the mick out of that. They have no first-round picks for 316 years.
416 years.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Oh, I forgot they did the.
Yeah, they did the other trade. Their next first-round pick isn't going to be till the year 2020-47. There's my math. I was waiting to see.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be explosive. I don't think it's going to be, big trades. I'm not sure there's going to be even one sort of blockbuster trade at this point, but it'll still be an interesting to see what they do just to try and shore them up and get themselves into that Super Bowl run for some teams. So I agree. Think that'll be fun. I just wanted your thoughts ahead of it, and we'll see what happens when we record the show
on Tuesday,
late next week.
On Tuesday, November 2nd. And that's what we're going to end it all right here, guys. We're going to close it out because Tim and Dom are tired. And again, this is Tim and Dom from across the NFL Talk from across the pond and back, bringing you the best in all football from both sides of the pond. Good night, everyone.